our channel.
Call to Inspire.
This is your girl Trina.
This is LaWanda.
And we are back, y'all. It's 2022.
Yes, y'all. 2022. Happy New Year.
Yes.
This is our first show of the new year, and we are so excited to bring you this topic we have today.
Yes.
We are giving you some of the best advice we have. Damn it! It's okay.
You can keep going because it's a video.
That we have experienced throughout this crazy year during the pandemic. What we learned in 2020, 2021. Now we here in 2022, y'all.
Yes, we got some good tips, y'all. Some good tips, some good advices that you can carry with you in this year throughout your life. These are all coming from our own personal experiences, things that we have been inspired by or things we have experienced ourselves. So we wanted to share this with you guys, have this be a fun video. We're just pouring out our advice, pouring out our goals to you guys and what we feel that we can help you with just these simple tips and advice that can get you through the year and through life.
And you can take this advice and make it your own.
Yes.
You don't have to take what we're saying or what we're giving to you as the law. This is what we've been through. If we've been through something and we got through it, we healed on, we moved on. We want to be able to help other people.
Absolutely.
So we're praying that this help you during your time right now.
Yes.
So I hope that you take this advice that we have and you #make it your own.
That's right. And for any new subscribers, any new followers to our channel, and this is your first time seeing us, welcome to our show. We took a little break, but we're back. We want to get back into the flow. Our IG, I'll just put it out there for those that don't know, is called _to_inspired. We're on Instagram, Facebook coming soon. We do have an email, you guys. It's calltoinspireus@gmail.com. So any questions you have, any advice, any tips, any things you have for us, feel free to email us, send it to us. Any people that know us personally, hey, you got any topic ideas? Hey, hit us up, let us know. We'll talk about it here on the show. We're here to offer our advice, our support, anything we have for you guys. So stay connected and plug us in. Remember, call number 2, Inspired.
Yes, especially for those who want to be on our show, who have something that you want to expose. We love doing small black businesses.
Yes.
We love having them on our show. We love showcasing people who are doing amazing and great things for the community and for our culture, y'all. So stay connected to us. Send us your messages. We will get back to you as soon as you send us our messages. Yes. So we're going to get into these great words of advice, wisdom, encouragement. Just try to take it and use it, and hopefully it'll help you, help somebody else. Share it with your friends, share it with your family.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and start. I'll come to you guys with the first thing that I have. I have 11 good advice topics, but I'll start with the first one. And my advice for the year 2022 is to have a plan. Yes. Go into this year, you guys, having a plan. And I don't mean to be set by the book, timestamps or things like that, but to just have some type of plan put together to where you're setting up for your future. You're trying to accomplish goals. Anything that you're trying to reach, whether it's business success or personal success, financial success, you want to map out a plan or a path for you to take in order for you to execute the goal. I mean, we can all dream a bunch of things and plan for a bunch of things, but without a plan, sometimes it doesn't come to pass. It doesn't happen. So you want to make sure that whatever it is you're trying to achieve this year, this out a plan, whether it's the time, the schedule, you move some things in your schedule, you shift some things. You just want to kind of have some direction in where you're going and to be able to execute the things that you want to do. So this year, get the planning.
That's great advice. What I want to say as my first word of encouragement is to prioritize your inner life over your outer life. We're living in a time of social media. Everybody's trying to get their outer appearance together with, and you want to get the BBLs, you want to get this, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. However, some people make that more important than their inner selves, which is just as important as your outer self. because your inner self, your heart, is the core of who you are.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people want to change their outer appearance, thinking that's going to make magnificent changes in your life when you're forgetting your inner self.
Right.
So you want to make sure you prioritize also looking within yourself, checking your own self, checking your heart, making sure you are as real inside as you are outside.
Yes, that's really good, Wanda. And I would say it's a little bit similar to Wanda, but for the people for this year 2022, I would say make peace. I say this to say through experience, you want to make peace with anyone or anything that has caused offense, any traumatic things that's happened in your life, anything that you need to grow from and heal through. I say this is the year where you want to make sure that you are prioritizing peace. Yes. It sounds redundant, it sounds so cliche, but it's very important, because if you skip past the area in your life this year or keep continuing to, you'll end up at the same result. You'll end up in the same situation. So you want to be mindful that 2022 is yet a new year when the clock strikes 12. However, you can still have the same experiences if you don't take the time to do the work, to heal, to focus, to repair things, to renew things. And it starts within. It's a process, it's a time. You know, it may be certain areas for some people, maybe psychological, maybe emotional, maybe physical. Anything, you know, you want to take the time to make sure that you are planning out time into your day, into your life, to take that time to heal and to make sure that you focus on yourself and to just make peace with whatever that is, and to find the peace within yourself.
Yes, that's amazing. It kind of was about to be what I was getting ready to say, but it's still, we bounce back off each other, so it's always a great vibe. Because I wanted to say make peace with your past.
There you go.
Because you can't move forward if you still holding on to the past. And that's so important. You want to heal from past things, heal from past hurt, heal from past drama. Just make peace with your past. I know for me, I held on so much in the past of what I didn't get, what I didn't achieve, what a lot of things that I was rejecting from. I was bringing that with me. I'm dragging that, saying, oh, this person living a life that I should have, this person have who I had to make peace with all that, let it go, so that you can move forth and live in your right now, in your future, and what God has ordained for you. So if you keep living in the past, you can't get what God has for you. So you have to make peace with your past and just let it go.
Yes, well said. You can't say that enough. You definitely can't say that enough. I would say the third one for me, you guys, would to be know your purpose. Discover your purpose.
Yes.
Again, it's one of those things that we hear all the time, over and over and over, and I have to keep reiterating because I don't want you guys to kind of check out. And the reason why I say that is because knowing why you're here, why you're created in this earth to do such a thing at such a time is very important. Because the purpose determines who you're connecting yourself with. It's determining who you're going to allow into your life or who you need to get rid of out of your life. It's the subject which should be the main focus of a lot of our attention, which is not. And that's okay. People come to find their purposes at different times, different seasons in their life. But I say don't negate it. Because knowing why you are here and what you're created to do sets the tone for everything that would determine who you get in relationship with, what business you take, what school you go into, you know, what thrives you, what gets you out to bed in the morning, who you're called to, who you can help. So discovering within your own God-given talent and your own purpose sets the tone for a lot of things, you guys. I know it sounds like, you know, everybody want to find their purpose, everybody want to do X, Y, and Z, but it's very crucial in a time like this to make sure that you know what you're here to do, why you're here to do it. And even if you don't know, like myself, it took me some time to figure it out. I'm still discovering it. But just get into the presence of God, get into the presence of the Lord, and seek guidance on what you're here specifically to do with your talents and your gifts. And I'm telling you, it just opens the door to so many things. You're not going to be worried about comparison. You're not going to be worried about the things you can't do because you'll know where you are in your life based on your purpose and who you're called to serve. So don't negate that, you guys. Just really take time in this year, 2022, to focus on discovering yourself and your God-given purpose.
I think you just had a whole word right there. Also, it's really big that you really get this in your mind, get this in your heart, that it's okay to not be okay all the time. Like, it's okay to break down. It's okay. I know, for me personally, I love when I have my breakdown moment in the shower and you get back out that shower, you empowered. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to break down sometimes. It is definitely okay to do that, because when we fail to process that, that not being okay, we're damaging ourselves in the process. So you have to understand, you have to know that it's okay, baby, not to be okay all the time. You don't have to walk around all the time pretending that it's okay. So just know that it's okay. Like, just, take that moment and then get back. Those moments in the car before you come back in the house, and you gotta shut down for a second. And the car had your moment, sing your worship songs. You're gonna cry, and then you're gonna get out that car and come in the house and do what you need to do.
That's right.
It's okay, baby, not to be okay all the time.
Definitely. I would say, you guys, the next one would be intentional.
Yes.
We don't realize how much having intentions and being intentional, like the power that it holds. And I'll say it again. Be intentional. Believe. So if you have the intention or the desire, you have the desire to want to be healed, the desire to want to be whole, the desire to want to lose 50 pounds, any desires to be married, to have children, whatever those things is to be successful, you want to be intentional. So if you're operating out of a space where you're not being intentional, and if you're kind of just going with the flow, going with the wind, just it'll happen when it happens, and that's to see how things play out, once again, which leading me back to purpose, which is leading me back to having direction and having a plan. You want to be intentional in whatever it is you're trying to execute, whatever it is you're trying to bring into fruition, because it's the intention behind why you're doing what you're doing, which makes you have the energy to want to get up and do it, which makes you have the energy to want to get up and try to go get this degree and try to get up and work out. It's the intention. You have to have the focus or the desire to want to do it, number one, and you have to know why. For me, a lot of the times, it's the why do I want to do this? And why do I want to make these videos? And why do I want to go back to school? Oh, because I want to help people. Oh, because I want to reach this goal and be healthy. You have to have an intention as to why you're doing something, and you have to believe it. A lot of the times people say a lot of things, and I'm good to you this myself, and I'm working through this. You have to believe what you're saying. You have to believe how you see yourself and what you're able to do, because a lot of people can say you're beautiful, you're talented, but if you don't believe it, it does not register. It does not matter. It will not do what it's supposed to do. So I say, you guys, whatever you're trying to obtain in your life, be intentional about it and believe it. And with the hard work and with the faith, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So remind me, guys, just be intentional with whatever it is.
You know what's amazing with what you just said? I know in church today, Reverend Johnson preached, and he talked about the woman who touched the hem of Jesus' garment and was healed. And he preached about how she, not only because she touched it, she was healed, because she had faith and believed in that, and she was healed. And what Jesus said to her, he said, "My daughter, your faith has healed you." So not just because she touched the hem of his garment, because what did his disciples say? Oh, a lot of people touching you, Jesus. A lot of people was touching him, but those people wasn't getting that healing.
Right.
But she came and touched them with the faith, knowing that she would be healed. So you have to have that. Was awesome. I want to say hurt will never be healed by anger. So when hurt people. So you know that walking around, with the attitude, I never understood women or men that walked around with an attitude because somebody else hurt you, and you taking that on every single body. How you think you're going to get healed? How you think you're going to get blessed by being angry and hurting everybody else that didn't hurt you?
Right.
So just understand that hurt will never be healed by anger. So walking around angry will do you no justice at all. It's just holding up space in your heart, holding up space in your spirit. You have to let that go.
Yes, that's good, Wanda. And a lot of people today are hurt, and we have a lot of hurt people hurting people. And it's very, very important, just like you said, to be able to have your heart, to be able to receive and allow God to flow in and flow out. But that blocking, that hurt and that pain and all those things that you haven't let go of, it can really sabotage a lot of things. So that's really good. Really good, Wanda, to be mindful about taking the time to deal with that hurt, because you're inflicting it on other people. You're creating a pattern that can go into your kids and in your life. Like, it's really good to just take the time, you guys, to heal. And that was really good, Wanda. Really good. I would say the next one for me would be for this year, because it's a new year, right? We're going into a new situation, new things. Watch your circle. Be mindful. Be mindful.
Yes.
And I say this very carefully. Be mindful of your circle. That does not mean that you are like, you know, the cancel era right now. Everybody's like being canceled. Everybody, you do this, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off.
Yes.
There's a difference when you're cutting people off because they made you mad or because they didn't do what you want to do. But when you sit down and you examine the people in your life, and we're not basing it on how long you knew them, who helped you then, who knew this, who know this. When you take a careful evaluation and look around in your circle and see how people's heart is, the time they spent with you, what they poured into you, what they gave to you. When you really assess the hypocrisy in your relationships and you see that there's an unbalance, it's time to start cutting. It's time to start removing. It's time to really say, okay, I may have known you for 30, 40 years, but where I'm going, I can't take you. Or what we're doing right now, we're not a good fit. And I don't mean this to be mean or to cut people off, but I say this because wherever you're going in life and whatever you're doing, you want to make sure that your circle is tight.
Yes.
I didn't understand that or get that until now. I'm 33 years old, and I've just come to the conclusion of you have to be mindful of who's around you, because why? They influence you. They influence you, either with their own hurt, their own pain, their own insecurities, and they don't mean to sometimes. Sometimes they don't realize they're doing it. But I say you have to be mindful of who's in your group, because they have the power to either speak life into you or speak it down. Yes. They have the power to either like manipulate you or even put their emotions on you or their anxiety. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. They're just human, but that can rub off onto you. They may see you being in a level of success and they're like, oh no, I can't have that. So there's competition. You want to be careful. Even the people that know your deepest, darkest secrets or been with you for 10, 20 years, you want to be mindful of who you're allowing in that circle, because everybody in the circle can't go up. Everybody in the circle may not be called to do what you're doing and may understand it, so they may play a part in either hindering what God is trying to do with you and through you because they're the closest to you. And one thing that I've learned, sometimes people are so close you can't see them. So we have to step back a little bit and kind of just evaluate and assess, and we have our ups and downs, and we was 10 years together, we was friends together in high school, but now I'm on a different path, I'm on a different level. I need this to be tight-knit, and sometimes the only way to see how it works is testing. It's through testing, it's through seeing when situations arise and what happens, what that friend will and will not do. And you have to sit back and not stop it. You have to allow it to happen, allow things to fall out, and not try to fix it, to see what people really made of, to see if their loyalty is really there, because that's what is really important. So I say, guys, just take time to take time to assess, but really look at who's around you in your circle.
Because everybody not destined to go with you. And then knowing that God will know the will for your life, those people will start falling off. You know, sometimes you don't even have to worry about I'm cutting you off, because God gonna do it for you. He gonna do those things for you, because they're not destined to go with you, especially when He take you to another level. Everybody not going with you, regardless of how long you know them. And that goes right into what I was getting ready to say next. Anybody who does not deserve or appreciate your presence deserve your absence.
There you go.
And then when I say that, I don't mean, again, try to cut people off, because again, they're gonna fall off regardless. I know for me, I have friends who I haven't talked to in a long time, and I'm reaching out, and they don't like try to contact me back. I'm like, listen, while I'm going through all this, trying to reach out to you, trying to still be in your life, and you're not making any effort to be in mine. And it took me a long time to get where I am right now. That's why I said this is something I learned this year. I'm not gonna say how old I am, but I will say it took me a while to get right here, to be able to be okay with letting know, like, friends gonna drop, they're gonna come and they're gonna go, they're gonna drop. They have to right now earn my absence. Absolutely. Because I'm not gonna keep on reaching out, trying to make you a part of my life when you don't want to be a part of it. So you have to be okay with walking away. I'm okay now. I'm walking. I don't. If I'm not important enough for you to contact me back, then listen, we gotta go our separate ways.
That's good. That's really, really good, Wanda. And that's hard for a lot of people. It takes people a lot to get to that point where they realize that the hypocrisy is not the same. The reciprocation is not the same. People are not pouring into you the same way that you're pouring into them. And then we make excuses. We make excuses. We turn a blind eye. We know for 34 years. It doesn't matter. Absence is the answer to people that wants to treat you like you're valuable. And when you realize, when you come into your value and you come into yourself, you realize that what you're fighting for and who you're fighting for, or whatever this thing is, it's better left where it is, and you can go get better and do better. And I'm talking friends, I'm talking relationships, I'm talking career. You may be in a job that don't see worth. You may be anywhere that people are just looking at you like, you're chopped liver, I'll put you on the shelf when I'm ready. Don't allow nobody to play with you. Don't play with your time. Don't waste your time. And that's really good one.
Time is really so precious.
Absolutely.
Time is the one thing you cannot get back.
Absolutely. That's really good, Wanda. I'll go on to the next one, guys. This is really good. You know, me and Wanda, we bounce off each other. Like, this is good. And I hope you guys are really, you're getting this. The next one for me, I would say, is be more self-aware. There are so many people that I realized, and myself too, when I'm pointing and poking, remind you, I've been through all this stuff that I'm saying. You don't realize when you're self-aware. So, which means if you're not aware of what you're doing, you don't know what you're inflicting or what you're projecting on other people. So I say to take time and really evaluate and assess how you are. And what I mean is not just what you see physically in the mirror. No, I'm talking about how your character is, your behaviors, your responses, your reactions, how you handle things, how you respond to things. Like, all of that plays a part in self-awareness. And I don't mean just when somebody like piss you off or you're reacting out of way. I mean, even when somebody's treating you good, even when you think less of somebody, or you look at the person that's like the janitor, so to speak, and you want to look at them as a lower person or less than because of the job. I'm talking about being self-aware and how you respond and handle and treat other people. Is really the thing that I think people need to realize. That people can say a lot. Oh, I get what I'm doing, and I didn't realize I was doing it. I did that to you, or I said that to you. Yes. Because people operate out of a space where they're like present, but they're not present. They're operating out of a space where they themselves are coping with stuff. They're dealing with stuff. They're blocking things out. They got 1,000,001 things in their mind, so they're not even aware of how they're coming off to you or responding to you. And sometimes people do have bad days, you guys. People going through stuff. It's crazy. It's Corona. People getting sick. People dying. So, excuse me. There is a lot of times where people are going to be mentally going through stuff inside, and they may react a certain way, and that's to be explained and understandable because we all go through that. However, I'm talking about the constant pattern where you are offending somebody, you are hurting somebody, you are projecting negativity on them, you're doing stuff to other people where you're like causing them to question who they are and their foundation in Christ and who they are and how they see themselves, because you had a negative moment, so then you're speaking down to the person. Then you're talking down to the person who's coming to you for support, and now they're left in the wind like, dang, I thought this person was this, that, and the third. And so be mindful, guys, to be aware within yourself of how you act and how you treat people, because it really can affect them, and you don't even realize that you're doing it. A lot of times you can't change something about you when you know that you're doing it, when you're not aware that, oh, I do kind of overtalk, oh, I do kind of talk down to people. So you want to be mindful, guys, to how you are treating people and how people perceive you. So sometimes if you want to ask a family member or a friend that you care about, that you feel will give an honest opinion, how do you see me? How do I act? How do I respond? Because there's things where people, they'll tell you you're good and just to keep safe face, but you need the people that's going to be honest and say, yeah, there's a time you can do blah, 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 blah. And you look at it as constructive criticism. You look at it as something to be worked on, to be developed, to be repaired, not to be mad about. We want to be self-aware in this season, in this time, so we can make better decisions and choices and watch who we hurt, based off our own personal stuff.
Yes, that goes with what I was saying earlier, check your inner self. That's part of checking your inner self. This word of advice or encouragement that I want to say is so important. It's something I learned. It took me like 2 years to figure this out. Like, it took me such a long time, not even just 2 years, I just made that up. But it took me a long time to figure this out, because I was on a journey to self-identity myself. And I was looking for things like, God, what do you want me to do? God, what is your will for my life? What do you want me to do? And what I learned is that the will of God is determined by knowing the word of God.
Absolutely.
So if you want to know God's will for your life, God's purpose for your life, you got to know the word. So that means spending time studying, spending time reading the word. The word is the Bible. Spend as much time as you can. Meditate, not just reading and studying, but meditating on it. Like, you could just read it really quick. Let me read this real quick. and you might not understand what you're reading. You have to study it, meditate on it, and apply it to your life. You have to. That's the only way you're going to find the will for your life. You're not going to find it on a yoga retreat. You're not going to find it on a beach. You're not going to find it anywhere. The only place you're going to find it is in the Word. So if you want to know what God's will is for your life, you got to read your Bible. You got to get into it. That is the purpose of reading your Bible, knowing what God wants for your life. Because I tried every single thing. Like, oh my God, you will not understand how much I tried to do. Oh, let me do this, let me do that. Maybe I'll find myself. I'll be so. No, I had to pause, read my Bible, find what God will for my life, and I found it right there in the Bible. And that's when I found peace, true peace, and there's nothing that could compare to that true, real peace.
There you go. Which brings me to the next topic. Again, we're bouncing off each other. Protect your peace at all costs.
Oh, I had to put my water back down.
See, y'all, this is a real one. 2022.
Peace
and from
is
here
everything.
And from here on out, peace is everything. I need you guys to really do
hashtag.
Listen, right?
Peace is everything.
Period. I need you guys to protect your peace at all costs.
Yes.
And again, I don't say nothing to nobody that I haven't experienced myself, that I'm not going through myself, that I haven't learned myself. Protecting your peace at all costs is very, very important. And we are talking about the peace that surpasses all understanding. This is what I just come to understand, which is ridiculous, but it's okay. But we look at peace in a sense of the silence and the quiet and the noise is like away and it's beautiful and everything's going well. That's not true peace. The peace within is the true peace. So that means that when all chaos is going crazy, when all hell is breaking loose and things keep happening behind one of another and all these things are falling in place, it's the peace that you find within yourself. I know it sounds crazy. Is how can you have peace when you're about to be put out? How can you have peace when your car's breaking down or you're sick or somebody's dying or people are breaking up, which are people leaving you, whatever that thing is. You have to look deep within to find the peace. Ask God for peace. Ask God for wisdom. Seek it out. You have to seek out things. Yes. In which what I had to learn. You have to seek for. You have to go find it. Yes. It just doesn't fall into your lap. When I said I want to be whole, I want to be healed, I want to know my purpose. You have to go after it. Yes. You have to seek for it. You got to get in the presence of God. You got to dig deeper. You got to look at your patterns. Look at your past. You have to really do the work to make the peace happen in your life. And I'm talking about that peace that's inside y'all. Yes. Not the peace where you're out in the street and you're doing something and you're like, okay, I'm just going to shut off the world and go be in the bubble, because you have to exist in this world, unfortunately. Yes. I'm talking about the peace within, that if that is happening, that does pop up and, oh, this happened with someone, and this, okay, you have the peace centered within to where it's not affecting you, where you can sleep at night, you can make sound mind, judgment decisions, you can go to work, you can raise your children, you can take care of your kids, you still have the issue, you still have the problem, but you know you have the peace within. Yes. To deal with it, to handle it, the strength to keep going. Because it's not peace if nothing's happening. Yes. It's not peace if everything is still and everything is just going well. When I think about that, when I was reading about the book of, it was like the story of Peter. Mm-hmm. And Jesus was telling him to come walk on the water. Oh, yes. And he was like, come on. Walk on the water and things like that. And Jesus was on the boat and he was chilling, like sleep, in the midst of the storm. In the midst of the winds raging and everything going on. And he's just chilling in the boat, like minding his business, and everybody else was going crazy because he's like, I see the storm. I know the storm that's happening, but the peace that I have, that you're going to be all right. You're going to be cool. You're going to be straight. You're going to get over it. You'll be better. That's where we want to be at. It does not mean that it's not going to feel like everything's good. People going to stop treating you crazy. People going to stop, but you're going to have that inner to be like, I'm good. And that's a big thing. Peace, I'm telling you guys, everything. Silence, learn when to be quiet. Yes. It's everything. That's a weapon, a powerful weapon that I've learned. To learn how to be quiet, to not announce what you're doing, to not announce where you're going. And it's not to keep people, be private, but you want to be mindful of what you're speaking out before you have done work inside, whatever you're saying. Because you give people the way to get in, to stop you, to distract you. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm tarrying, but this is really serious. So, in all calls, you guys, whatever it takes, if you have to get off social media, if you have to stop going certain places, Stop involving yourself around certain people. Miss some events. You ain't gotta go to every event.
Yes.
You know, whatever it is you gotta do. You know, change your location, change your job, wherever it is. Make sure you focus on doing what's best for your peace, you guys, because you have to be in that place to operate, to serve your purpose, to do what you gotta do for other people. You all just shoveled in all over the place, and your mind is crazy. You're not gonna be effective. In what you do. You have to be effective in what you do. Protect that peace.
That is so important that you have to be effective.
Yeah.
That reminds me of being in a job. The money was great, but it was bothering my peace. Like I just could not, like being stressed, not being able to go to sleep, taking work home with you. All that stuff is stressors and anxiety. Just because it's a lot of money doesn't give you that peace. And when you get to a job and I can do this job, I'm effective at what I'm doing, and I have peace.
Right.
Hello.
There you go.
That goes on to my next thing. I was going to say, your past does not define your worth. Because a lot of people always say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, because of who I used to be. That does not define who you are. Look it up. You could take so many stories of people who were this and who were that, who were a lot of things that they never thought they would be. Or you could be, I don't know, a stripper, now you preaching. It's so much stuff. Don't allow your past to stop you from your future. Don't allow the past to stop you from doing. Like, I did a lot of things in my life. And I used to think like, oh my God, like I can't go to church. I can't do this because of what I did or what I've done, or and that almost stopped me from going to church. That almost stopped me from being saved. That almost stopped me from doing the things that God has ordained me to do. That almost cost me my future. Wow. You really have to understand. Don't allow people to manipulate you, saying because you used to do this, and somebody said that to me before. Now you in church, but I remember when. Listen, God died for me already. All that is over with. You have to don't allow people to speak that into you. Jeez. You have to do not allow people to speak your past into you. You know what God has done for you. That's right. So you know that you're walking in a new mercies every single day. Every single day, these new mercies. So don't allow anybody to hold you to who you used to be. Because I don't allow nobody to hold me to who I used to be. And to nothing that I did. I done prayed about it. I took it to the altar. And now it's over.
There you go. That's good.
I'm sorry, I was upset a little bit, right?
The past has a way of trying to hold you back, and that's very, very good. Yeah, we are set free, guys.
We are.
Don't allow any of that stuff, no matter what it is, who it is. People will remind you. You got to remind them who you are. Who you are now, who you becoming.
They will try you.
Yes, that's good. And on a lighter note, guys, we give us some good, serious, heavy stuff, but on a lighter note, even though it's 2022 and things are crazy and stuff is going on, I still want to say, even to this is my 8th topic, I think it is, have fun, okay? 2022 is a crazy year. We've been cooped up in the house. It's been a lot of deaths, a lot of anxiety going on in the world. I want to encourage you guys to find somewhere in this crazy, chaotic world to make time for yourself, to do things that are fun and uplifting, try things that are new, get out there and learn something that you never learned. Go places, travel, explore. It doesn't mean that we're locked down, that we can't make the biggest, the best decisions to do things now. We can. Just be careful. Just be safe. Just be aware of where you're going and your surroundings. But 2022, guys, do something you never did before. Try something you never did. Go somewhere. I'm very what's the word? Extrovert. I like to go places and do things and travel. So guys, I encourage you that this year, if you haven't done that in a while, get out and try something. Get out and do something you've never done before. Make sure you're doing a lot of laughing. Do things that are that bring you joy, that bring you happiness. Joy. Because it's a lot of stress, and we can beat up your heads. Do this, but you want to still make sure that you are laughing, that you are still enjoying life, that you are still appreciating the people that's in your life and who you have, and still making the best of whatever it is. No matter what has ended, what is gone, what you didn't get, what didn't happen. Live life to the fullest and enjoy the best you can. 2022, we not sitting in the prison of our minds. We're not sitting in the space where whatever wasn't and wouldn't be, what didn't turn out to be. We got to leave that alone because time waits for nobody. We want to enjoy what's left and what's rest and whatever else is coming on. We want to be present and experience and really embrace what we have left.
Yes.
So enjoy it, guys. Do something new. Live, love, laugh, travel, start a podcast, write a book, whatever it is. Start to do it. It don't have to be perfect, but just make sure you're living life and enjoying it. People tend to forget, it's a lot going on, but we still are humans. We still need to live and laugh and joke and have a good time. There's nothing wrong with that. So make sure you guys incorporate that this year. Don't live in fear. Don't live in anxiety. Don't worry about none of that. Just live and enjoy your life.
And along with that, I would say singleness is the most important time of your life. And so many people, I was one of them. I'm not even going to say just pretended that I wasn't one of them. Sometimes you feel sad, you feel alone because you're single, you're moping around. And when you're single and you're thinking about it so much in your mind, you see couples more often. And I'm like, everybody's a couple, everybody's married. That's because that was on my mind, being single. Right. So of course you're gonna see so many married people, so many couples, so much thing. Every movie that come out, every show, it's all about couples, and you just like, oh, okay. But you have to understand, singleness is the most important part of the time of your life. To spend time with yourself, spend time with God. There's so many lessons to be learned while you're single. It's so much that God wants to put in you while you're single. It's so much work that He wants you to do while you're single. Because once you become married, you're not going to be able to do those things. And it's not because of what you may think of. You won't have time. You're so focused. Once you become married, you're focused on your husband. Then you have children. You're focused on your children. So when you're single, that gives you so much time to work on yourself, to spend time with God. There's so much you can do while you're single, and you want to get that into you. So much healing you want to do. There's a lot of things you want to do, and you don't want to carry into a relationship. So working on yourself while you're single is so important. Don't see it as a death wish. Don't see it as something dead. It is a fabulous thing. It's an awesome thing to be single because you have so much you can do to work on yourself. Because once you become one with another person, it's just not you anymore. It's we. So being single is nothing wrong with being single, you guys. Work on yourself. Study your word. Get into it with God. He will definitely send you somebody that's ordained for you.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good advice, guys, to all the singles out there. You can apply this to your life. That's really good. You don't want to look at it as a negative thing. It's the best place to be, especially when you're trying to get through and get over stuff. You want to embrace that time because you won't get it again. You want to milk out of it and get all out of it, which you need to, because it'll prepare you for what's ahead. It's really good.
It will prepare you.
Yes, very good. I would say, you guys, I want you to do in 2022, prefer develop and cultivate your gifts and your time. We tend to be a little lax. We tend to put down some things that we started, or we get kind of distracted. It's life, it happens. But I want to encourage you guys, if you put anything down, to go back and revisit that thing. Go back and work on those instruments that you used to play, or go back and start doing hair. Go back and start doing whatever it is that you put down. This is a new year, it's a new time. Go back and reinvent yourself. That's what I'm doing in my business. I'm reinventing, I'm redeveloping. Cultivate your skills and your talent. Sometimes when you get to the point where you feel like I've done it all, can't nobody tell me nothing, I'm the best, and that's the part that gets a little tricky, because we all need improvement. We all need development. We all can get to a point where we reach our peaks, but we want to be mindful that even if you're in the space where you are the best at what you do, there's always room for improvement. There's always room to where you can grow and be better at what you're doing. So if you are a chef, if you do hair, whatever that thing is, if you sing, whatever, take time to develop. Take time to cultivate that gift. Take time to really focus in on areas that are not as good or is a little bit weak, or just come back this year and reinvent yourself the right way, the better way. You don't want to get to a point where you feel that you know it all, because I always say that when people think that they know it all, like they're foolish, because you always can be taught more. You always can be better. You always can learn something new, no matter how good you are. And those people like that are to the point where they mastered the skill of whatever it is, you can't tell them nothing.
Yeah.
And they don't want to accept your advice and this and that and the third. So you want to be teachable. You always want to be teachable. Even the Lord tells us to be teachable.
Yes.
You get to the point where you're like, I know enough about God. I know everything about Him. You ain't got to tell me nothing. You're in a bad space because you won't ever know enough about God or ever know enough about Christian. You're always learning and growing. This is a stride. This is a marathon. You are not to the point in your life, no matter how long you've been in church or how long you've been in a religion or a relationship, to say, I know enough. There's always something more to learn, always something more to know and grow. You have a PhD, whatever, it's always something more. So guys, don't cap yourself off to say, this is good enough. That's enough. I'm cool right there. I know enough. I'm good. Develop, cultivate, dig deeper, try something else. Push yourself. You'll be surprised what comes out when you push and do things different. So 2022, guys, go into doing something more. Something great. Help cultivate those gifts. Be better. Be open to learning more. There's growth in all of those things. When you open up your mind to do more.
Yes. I always tell people I'm a life learner. Like, I love learning new things. Any opportunity that I get to learn something new, I do it. Like I tell people, I'm almost finished my third degree. And if I had the funds to go back to get my PhD, whatever, I would go back and do it because I love learning. There's always something out there to learn. Like you say, it's never enough. My next thing would be, don't let people take away your identity just because of your circumstances. So many people this year has fallen ill, so many sicknesses and diseases, and they let that become their identity. You're not you no more. You that disease. You're that failure. You're whatever it is that's going on in your life. Don't allow anybody to make that your identity. Stay true to who you are despite your circumstances. And that's as simple as that. Like, do not become what people call you all the time.
Absolutely. That's really good. And I'm out of all of my topics, guys. But I'm gonna go off the head and just say my last one for 2022 is to don't allow people to silence you.
Yes.
Don't lose your voice.
Don't lose your voice.
I've struggled with this. I've been here. Many people I know have been here. Don't lose the power of your voice, because you may have been through some things. You may have experienced some things. People may have told you you're not good enough. Whatever those things are, do not lose the power of your voice to speak up for yourself, to speak over your life, to speak into yourself. We have authority, we have a power to speak those things as though they are. And whatever we think about ourselves, how we see ourselves, we believe in, is really how we project out into the world. Don't ever let anybody silence you or make you feel that you're not enough. Like, I need you guys to really hear me and hear me well. Do not let anybody tell you who they think you are. You know yourself for yourself. You take time to learn yourself. You take time to know yourself and be proud and be bold in it. Don't ever silence yourself, and don't ever put down your voice. You've been given the voice or the talent to sing, to speak, to preach, to encourage, to motivate. We go through things in life and you want to just cut it off. And you don't want to say nothing, and you feel like it's not valid, and it's not going to do anything, or whatever that is. When God speaks through you and flows through you, or when things happen in life, He will give you that courage. He will give you what you need to go out in the world and say what you got to say, to speak what you got to speak, whether it's give somebody advice or whatever. Don't let anybody silence you, guys. Don't let anybody say you're not enough. You speak the truth. You walk in the truth, and you live into it. You have a voice. Use it. That's your power, you guys. That's what I would say for 2022 as well.
I promise you guys that we did not go over what words of encouragement we were going to say. Like, we didn't come in and say, what you going to say? We did not do that. And it's what she just said goes off the last thing that I want to say. That's what I'm saying. You're smiling like crazy. You really just said that. Because my thing I want to do for everybody, my word of encouragement for 2022 is our relation. It's so important. Our relationship with ourselves impacts every area of our life.
Good stuff.
Love yourself, because you can't love if you don't know how to love yourself. You don't know how to love yourself. You cannot love anybody else. There's no way that you can love somebody else if you don't know how to love yourself. So it's so important that you take time, know yourself, learn, grow, cultivate. The most important, guys, you have to love yourself, work on yourself, so that you'll be able to properly and healthy love loving somebody else, guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Y'all just spent all this time with us. Thank you guys for allowing us back.
So excited.
We are glad and grateful to do what it is that we do. Long time coming, but we're back and we're in it, and we pray and hope, guys, that you are encouraged by these topics. Share this with your friends, your family, whoever. I'm going to go ahead and drop some things on the link. Again, we are called to inspire. Called to inspire. Email is called to inspire us at Gmail. IG is call_to_inspire. And our channel that you guys are going to be watching this on, I'm going to also upload it for you guys on Facebook as well. It's simply called to inspire. Remember number 2. And check us out. Check us out, guys. We're coming back. We're revamping. We're reviving. So be patient with us. But you're going to see us more and more. We got great content for you guys.
This year's going to be great.
So we're speaking it as it is, guys. So thank you again. Myself and Wanda are very grateful for allowing you guys to be here with us and share it. And we'll be back. We got some good stuff for you guys. Till next time.
We'll see you.
Yes. Take care.